Hello everyone. So I was checking out my social media, and I saw responses for the video that I posted about women setting their standards higher. I spoke to a couple of brothers, as predicted, calling me crazy and calling me unreasonable for wanting women to set their standards a bit higher. And my one of the conversations went to the whole sex thing, right? How we've made sex the criteria, or how we've made amazing, mind-numbing, toe-curling rounds the criteria for a dope relationship. And I was disputing it. I was disputing like the way I was basically. Jorge, sex isn't literally, it's not a great criteria to judge whether a relationship is gonna go forward or not. It's not. It just doesn't equate. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to make sex the criteria, And the reason I'm saying that is because people who've made sex, let me say us. I'm not gonna say us men or us women, because we both do it. Men and women, we both do it. We have made sex the criteria for a great relationship. How are you gonna make my question is, how are you gonna make sex something that lasts at most 7 minutes? At most. How are you gonna make that the criteria for a great relationship? Right, so this was the question that I asked, and the person was like, nah, that's not what I mean. And I'm like, that's exactly what you mean. Like, you're basing a whole entire relationship on a thrill, on emotional on passions, basically. Like, are you not passionate about yourself? Are you not passionate about your betterment? Are you not passionate about your character? Because to me, that's what I alluded to. Character is what you need to be focused on. Good character, great character, refined character. Character that keeps growing, a person who has a growth mindset, a person whose personal development is unceasing, unending, and he's forever, or she's forever evolving. That's the person you're supposed to be with. That's the person you're supposed to start a relationship with, because I can goddamn guarantee you that person is ready. If they've taken a leaf, to commit their time to personal development, to commit their time to achieving more for themselves, as themselves, to be more, to bring value, to be of value, to be of greater worth than just sex. The thrill fades. Once sex becomes a norm in your relationship, the thrill fades. And if you've based your relationship, I shouldn't have to say this, because you see it every single time in relationships. You see it. Once they get used to fucking you, once they get used to your rounds, once they get used to, once they start finding out there's actually more that they have to deal with instead of just rounds, they lose interest, because 1, they either bored, 2, they intimidated, 3, the sex wasn't all of that. It just wasn't all of that. It's just heavy breathing on top of you or below you. Just heavy breathing, or lying like a chicken. Nothing interesting. They don't take an interest in the person you are, in your personhood. And so relationships that start with that, or relationships that have put that as the focus, fail dismally. They fail. Your mama could have told you that. Y'all don't listen to your parents no more. Y'all don't even involve your parents in, your relationships. You don't ask for advice from the oldest. Another thing that I was discussing in that conversation was sex, right? Like men and women, like both of us, both men and women, have done this thing where it's the quantity of rounds or the quantity of how many times you guys can have sex in a week that you've defined a person's quality character with. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's never how long you can do something. It's the quality of that round. It's the quality of that round. If you know a way around your partner's body, if you know what your partner likes, and you'll only know what your partner likes if you're interested in them. A lot of you guys aren't interested in your partners. You're interested in how your partners make you feel. You're interested in what they can do for you or what they bring for you. You're interested in that. You're not interested in, who the person is, what they like, how they like it. You're not interested in improving yourself to fit the levels that they require in order for them to be happy. You're not interested. You're interested in how you feel. You're interested in how, in how they can fulfill you. You're interested in how they can make you happy, And so a lot of relationships fail because a lot of these things are not taken into consideration. You're dealing with a whole human being. You're dealing with an entire human being, and that human being requires for you to spend time on them, doting, get into their whole education. They are a whole education. And a lot of times our partners educate us on who we are. But, like a lot of us aren't really interested in who we are. We don't like that. We don't even like being seen in relationships because you didn't go in with the intent of keeping or being kept. You didn't go in with the intention of being kept. You didn't go in with the intention of lasting in that relationship because the reason you stepped into it was rounds, was strokes, was how deep it could go. And then she says go deeper and you collapse, bust a nut, make a mess, and you've achieved nothing. You've satisfied nothing. You're not even satisfied because post-nut regret is a real thing for men. Once you bust a nut, you lose interest in that girl because you weren't interested in the person she is to begin with. You were interested in using her as your cum bucket. You are using her as your sperm clot. Sperm cloth. That's what you niggas use women for. You use women for sex. And you use women for sex to degrade them. How sick that is. You use women for sex to degrade them because any nigga can tell you. A lot of our friends, even we, have done this where we sleep with women and we have post-nut regret and we go like stupid high school kids, go broadcast our bedroom details of what happened in the bedroom, how she was, how she screamed, how she spread it, and you defile a woman's honor. You defile her honor because you're not interested in the person. You're interested in her ass. You're interested in her pussy. You're interested in what she makes you look like to your boys. You're interested in what she makes you look like in society. And that shit is predatory as fuck and it's part of rape culture, my nigga. And I ain't gonna hide that shit from you. I'm never gonna hide that shit from you. A lot of us aren't interested in the people we with. We interested in the sex. We interested in, in the status. We're interested in what they look like when what we look like when they with us. But we don't respect ourselves. We don't love ourselves. To show you how we don't love ourselves, look at any girl's Instagram picture. The comment section on any girl's Instagram picture. Look at how men hate themselves because they project how they feel about themselves and tell it to women. All that ugliness. All that ugliness. And you telling me you ready to be in a relationship? Nah, my nigga, you just want to bust a nut. Be open about it. Nah, sis, you just want to bust a nut. Be open about it. Be out here posturing readiness for a relationship when you're not. You're not ready. You're not ready. You haven't made yourself quality yet. You haven't made yourself quality enough, deserving enough to be in a relationship, because I can tell you the results of what that is going to be. Ruin, hurt, heartbreak, people getting broken, people breaking their relationships with God because they went to you and they believed everything you said. Everything you said. They believed it. They made it their Bible. They made it their testament of worth, belonging, home. They made that their church. They made you church. And you didn't have any intention of being an amen to people's prayers. You just pretended that you were. We're full of shit. We're full of shit. All of us are full of shit. I'm not gonna hide it from you. I've never been the type of person to hide it from you. All of us are shit, and that's a beautiful thing, because we can fix up. We can fix up. All of us. We can fix up if we stop running. If we stop lying to ourselves. If we stop mugging ourselves and going to people and mugging them and hijacking pussy and dick. Being predatory. Defiling people's innocence. Defiling people's honor that they've worked hard to clean up. They've worked hard to clean up and heal. And here we come, pretending to be something we're not. All for a round? Are you mad? Are we mad? Luna. Nah, yo. Nah, we are a madness. We are an entire madness, man. And we use love as the hook and bait to break people. All for a round of sex. That's despicable shit, man. That's some despicable shit. I won't lie to you, man. And a lot of us need to fix up entirely, heavily, readily. We need to sit with God for a second. We need to sit with God and commit to actually changing. We need to commit to actually changing and actually do it, because it's possible. And I say this with my chest because I've done it. Bro, difficult? Hell yeah. Worth it? Fuck yeah. Worth it. Every single second of it, of toiling and reckoning and sitting with myself and being disgusted with myself and feeling sick to my stomach. Feeling sick. All of it was worth it. All of it is still worth it right now. You wanna get a good quality woman, you wanna get a good quality man, become that quality. Become it fully, 100%, without a doubt. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you need to be falling in love with yourself. You need to catch yourself off guard from how good you look. You need to catch yourself off guard from how amazing it feels to be you. A friend of mine, a producer friend of mine, was surprised at a lyric I wrote recently. And I'm not saying I'm in studio or anything. I'm not saying that. But there's a lyric I wrote recently where I say, may Allah have mercy enough on my daughters to give them husbands like I am. Now, audacious you gotta be as a dude to say that shit. Do you know how audacious you gotta be as a man to say that shit, to wish you on your own daughters, to wish your quality of man on your own children, on your own girl children? Do you know what balls you need to have to say that to God, about God? Boy, you need to be so in love with your readiness. You need to be so in love with yourself that it's easy for you to say no to any and everybody. It's easy for you to say no because you know, you can see, man, when you've worked on yourself, you can see what isn't for you. You can see it 100%. Without fail, every single time, without fail, you can see it. They can't dupe you. You know, they can't dupe you. I put that on my life. They cannot dupe you. They will lie, but their lies are always going to fail them. Their lies are always going to fail them. And you can see it from the jump. I was telling a friend of mine that the moment you start healing and the moment you start working on yourself, the moment you start, you know, the moment you start getting a level above, you know, the places and challenges that you used to have, the moment you start achieving healing, the moment you break a ceiling when it comes to your healing, people are going to remark. And then she said, someone remarked, Hore, she's very firm, or she's very stubborn, or her standards are high. And I was like to her, that was your cue. That's the first red flag. That was your cue to take your bag and be out. But she asked the guy a question, and she said to him, what do you mean? Am I not supposed to have high standards? I was like, you wasted your time. Because the moment he answers that question, you're going to lower your standards. The moment you answer that question, you're going to lower your standards to make him feel like a man. Don't do that. As a man, when a woman tells you you're too difficult, or you're too stubborn, or you're too, and that's you preserving the things you working on inside of yourself, right? Preserving the goodness that you've gained from working on yourself. And a woman tells you you're too stubborn, you're too disciplined, you have too many rules, I've heard that a million times because I don't hug women. I don't kiss. I don't have sex. I don't want it. You're not my wife. Why should I give you what belongs to my wife? Just because you like me doesn't make you worthy of a hug. Not from me. Not from me. From your husband, yeah. But not from me. Once you hear that from people, once you hear that from the opposite sex, people of interest, people who've taken interest in you, once you hear that, boy, boy, leave. Yeah, I'll leave. I'll leave a date. I'll leave a date. No explanation. Block, delete, mute. Everywhere. Block, delete, mute. I don't have time. You don't have time. When you're healed, when you know what quality you deserve, when you know who you are, when you know what you've had to do in order for you to be the person you are, all that work, all that time, all that investing in yourself to be a greater version of yourself, and people reduce you to a sample. They want to sample your body, all that shit that you've done to take care of yourself and be your better self, the better self that they deem themselves worthy to be with, and they tell you that you're too disciplined, or that you have too many rules, right? You pray too much. I can't relate. All of that shit. I leave. 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 Never allow yourself to be reduced to a sample. People will sample your energy, your time, your money, your confidence. And I mean confidence as in your confide. Them dumping all of their gunk, all of their negativity on you. They will sample you. They will hey, Lena. People will sample you, bruh, with no remorse. With no remorse and no recourse whatsoever. They will sample you. And when they sample you, they leave you with all that bad energy. They leave you with the mess they are. Don't come back and say, hey man, listen, I know I left you with all that dump. I know I left you with all that mess. Can I try help you fix up? They won't do that. They don't work. The tags don't work, eh? Sorry about that. They won't come back, so you need to take care of yourself. You need to be so on guard, man. You need to be on guard. Be on guard with yourself, with your betterment, with your better becoming. Be on guard. People are full of shit, man. And if you're the person I'm talking about who's full of shit, fuck, man. Fix the fuck up. Stop making people feel like shit after you. Stop making people feel like shit after you, bro. After people experience you, they're supposed to be better versions of themselves, not trash, not garbage. Cut it out, man. Cut it out. Yo, Lena. Cut that shit out, man. We're too grown for that shit. We're too grown for that shit. And stop calling men who bullshit women boys. They're not boys. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. All the lying and cheating, all of that shit. They're not children. They're not children. Men are not dumb, man. Men, Men are dumb. Men are not dumb. They act dumb so you can overlook holding them to account. They're not dumb. None of that action is dumb, man. None of that shit is dumb. So please, like, when someone does a wrong, hold them to account. Call them by the names they are. Call them by their definition. In full definition, you are a cheater, you are a liar, you are a misleader, and you need to switch up. You need to change. You need to change up. Call people out. I've been called out, and that's, you know, the best thing that's ever happened to me was being called out. Because I represent too much. I represent way too much. I represent way too much to be letting women down or letting God down. You know? Stop catching feelings when people call you out. Own up. Own up. Fix up. Do you know what I mean? Damn, man. Stop reducing yourself to a round of sex. Stop reducing the quality of person or lover you are to a round of sex. And then you're going to turn around and blame love and God and relationships. And you know what umjolo consists of. You know what it consists. You can predict. You can tell. There's way too many examples in the past. Way too many examples with our friends. Way too many examples with people we don't even like. Celebrities. You know, this culture that we keep molding our lives around. Celebrity culture. Forgetting that God gave you perfect instructions, and those instructions are actually like still working for people that follow them. 100%. God gave you perfect instructions, and if you follow the perfect instructions and you get better as the person you are and better your character, you will see the bullshit. You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll call it out. In fact, you'll see it so much you won't even have time to argue it, because people will always tell you who they are by their actions. They'll always tell you who they are by their actions, and believe a person's actions, believe a person's moves over and above everything else, because everything else is just bullshit. Believe half of what you see, believe none of what you hear, and half of what you see. Okay? I love you.